Captain Chris German coming to you for Conversations at the Helm on the Charted Life Television Network. We are getting to be a really professional group here. I mean, it's me and my wife, actually, but we're really starting to make this thing turn out to be something very, very cool. We got our first advertisers signed on this week, and we got some videos coming out for them pretty soon. We've got our After Dark crowd. We've got our After Dark producers that are coming out, and I'm very excited to start talking about the Alaska local music scene. That's going to be on Charted Life After Dark. And for Charted Life After Dark people, if you want to have a show, we can help you with your show, and it's $100. And we're looking for all kinds of creative content all over the planet. So you also notice I'm not wearing my glasses right now. I'm going to put my glasses on when I need to read something, but the Mr. Magoo comments and the constant pushing them up and all that stuff, it didn't make a lot of sense for me to do that. So I pulled my glasses off. Maybe one of these days I'll get myself some contact lenses so I don't have to keep taking my glasses off. But in the interim, it's me. You can see my eyes. You can see everything that's going on. It looks like we got a good picture on Facebook right now. It looks like we are streaming everything. Everything is piled out nicely. I think we have ourselves a show. And so this show is going to get a little bit, I think, controversial. I hope, anyway, because this is a topic that brings the hairs on people's necks to their full standing upright position. Because I think it involves a little bit of government overreach. I think it has something to do with a little bit of personal responsibility. It's got a lot of different facets. But the one thing that it is definitely a polarizing subject, and that is parking restrictions for boats and RVs. There's a number of things going on around the country right now in places, and I was particularly miffed when they told me I couldn't park my boat in Beaufort Harbor actually Taylor's Creek. Last year, right after the hurricane, literally while people were still getting their power turned back on, the town council of Beaufort, North Carolina, convened a meeting, and they banned all anchored boats in the harbor. And the way we found out about this is the police chief, or one of the police officers for the town, called all the boat owners up in last registration known, and he said, you know what, you got 10 days to get your boat out of there, or we're going to take it from you. And a giant pile of boats was collected from that harbor and put into a garbage pile sitting over at the Towboat U.S. facility in Morehead City, and they all got thrown out. And so that started me thinking about, okay, what am I going to do for business? Because my business was based on having those anchored boats in that harbor. I taught sailing, and it harkened me back to another time back in Bridgeport, Connecticut, with a certain corrupt mayor who's no longer mayor of the town. And basically, he had a big beef with me because I was trying to be too big for my britches, and I lost. I lost in a very galactic way. They bulldozed my boathouse down. They threw my boats out. They sunk all my moorings. I dropped something like $50,000, $60,000 worth of gear into the water, and I lost my home over it. I lost my livelihood over it, and I decided I'm leaving Connecticut, and that's what got me down to North Carolina. So this whole idea of not being able to anchor in a port is really close to my heart. And so that started the Charted Life TV, because we thought we need a voice for the people that are deciding to live aboard their boats and live aboard their RVs. One of the most liberal bastions in the entire United States, Berkeley, California, the site of the sit-ins at Haight-Ashbury back in the 60s, the free love revolution, hippie central USA. This place has decided that it is against the law to sleep in your RV parked on a city street. So they banned all RV parking on the city streets of Berkeley. And can we see that logo for that? There was an article that was posted up there a couple weeks ago. And here you go. You see this. This is the article. You can catch it on there and read about it. But basically, there's a couple of different thoughts on that, and some of the thoughts is that we want to have a clean city street. And they were saying, I was listening to a video, and you're going to see it in a little bit, people were complaining about finding human excrement in their dumpsters, and they were having trouble with miscreants wandering around the place and vagabonds and things like that. And I don't want that in my city either. But on the other side of it is that, you know, an RV is a home. A boat is a home. Just because it doesn't have a concrete foundation, that doesn't make it not a home. And so this is where the Charted Life is coming in. So we're trying to foster this lifestyle, living in one's boats or living in one's RV. And tonight we're going to talk about the parking restrictions and what a challenge it is. I was trying to get a few friends to join us tonight and call in. And that's the point of the show. It is a call-in show, and we was hoping, a couple of the experts in there from the Mobile Odyssey Facebook page out there. Charles, if you're listening, give us a shout-out and, comment on our page. And then, we'd love to talk to some of you. I also talked to the Wayward Home. She's out of California, I believe, and she's talking about van living and all that kinds of stuff. So I was trying to get them to join us. They may not be able to join us tonight. But either way, I did call all kinds of people that are supposed to call in tonight, and it's our second episode of this season of Conversations at the Helm. So if you would like to call in, the number to call is 252-499-0087. That's 252-499-0087. And we do hope that you'll give us a call and you will, give us your opinions on the whole thing. You don't have to necessarily talk about the anchoring issues. You don't necessarily have to talk about the boating issues. You don't necessarily have to talk about anything for these shows. But if you do have an opinion, we would love to hear from you. And I was having a great conversation with a gentleman today. I've got my Facebook feed up open here, so I have to look at put my glasses on. But what was his name? Oh, Brian Carnes. I'm not sure where Brian Carnes is from, but we had a great back and forth going today. He used to have a boat down in Florida, and he decided to give up his boat because he didn't have any place to park it. As a matter of fact, actually, we have a 42-foot Endeavor, a beautiful boat that got trashed in the hurricane, and I'm not rushing to fix it. And the reason why I'm not rushing to fix it is it's cheaper to leave it on the hard in the parking lot than it is to put it in the water around here. If you want to tie it up to a dock, it's $300 or $400 a month to tie up there. Most of the city docks in Beaufort are not available for anything other than an overnight. And so it's a challenge to find a place to park your boat that's not super, super expensive. But then there's the other side of it, and I want to be very fair and balanced about this whole thing. And I want to say, I don't like the idea of what they call anchor outs. Anchor outs are a phenomenon that's big on the West Coast, and I guess they're happening in this part of the world as well. But basically, and we've had a couple of anchor outs. They're for all intents and purposes, indigent people that get a boat that does not operate, that does not move, that is absolutely not operational in any way, shape, or form. It can't be brought off the mooring because it can't be powered in any way, shape, or form. A lot of times they don't have sails for the thing, or they don't have a motor for the thing, and it's an absolute derelict vessel. And people live in these things. Now, I don't wish them any ill will. I'm sorry the times have been so hard on them. But at the same time, if your boat is not a boat in that it cannot purposely go from one place to another, it should not be in the waterfront of a city or a municipality. We had a situation in Beaufort, I'm told, and you can call in and tell me the details on this one. I'd love to hear it if somebody knows this story. But the rumor is that there was a derelict vessel in the downtown area of Beaufort, and everybody knew there was something strange about this boat. And eventually, somebody got out to that boat, and they seized the boat, and they figured out that somebody was making heroin in this boat. It was a methadone lab or something like that. And these homeless people were selling drugs out of the boat, and they were manufacturing them in the boat. That is exactly what we have to stop. That is exactly why I'm in favor of anchor bans, and I'm in favor of restrictions on anchoring, because there are some very unsavory characters, or savory characters. Which one is it, Jen? Savory or unsavory? Unsavory characters, yes. Unsavory characters that are out there in their boats, and it's a bad stain on all of us. So we, as boaters that are anchored out there, we should be policing ourselves and making sure that people are not abusing the system. If you look at some of the way the boats are anchored around here, they've got clothesline tied up. Nobody goes out to them ever. They've got giant beards hanging off of them. They're otherwise abandoned. We just had a boat go ashore here in Town Creek this weekend, and it's been bouncing off of the shore for the last 6 weeks. It's just got this little teeny tiny line that's not tied properly on it, and it was destroying the wildlife by bouncing off of the mud all the time. The boat next to it was not any more paid attention to, because we had a bad windstorm come through the other day, and it shredded the jib. If you go over the bridge into Beaufort and you look down, there's this boat down there right now that's got a shredded jib on it, and it should not be there, I don't think. So, take care of your stuff. If you're going to have a boat, take care of it. If you're going to be in an area of municipality, take care of it. So that's my editorial of the night about boating. As far as the RVs go, I have never personally lived aboard an RV as a primary residence, but I think we all have the same problem, so I want to bring them into our family of the Charted Lifers, so that is why we also are fighting for the advantages of the RV crowd, and we are building a tiny house right now, and we are restoring an Airstream, and we've got all kinds of stuff that we're working on. But if you're an RV liver, if you're a live-aboard boater, if you can see us wherever you are, give us a call at 252-499-0087. 252-499-0087 is the number to call. We will talk about anything that you want to talk about, but the subject that we're hopefully going to ring around the ring tonight is RV and boat parking and anchoring restrictions around the world. Florida knows about it. California knows about it. North Carolina definitely knows about it. Connecticut knows about it. I don't know where else knows about it, but if you have an issue in your community, give us a call and tell us how the people are treating you if you're an anchored boat there. Or if you're parking your RV and you're getting hassled by the neighbors. Also, use tiny homers. You all know about the restrictions it is to park your tiny home. Why don't you give us a call about that and tell us about the restrictions there is to park a tiny home. They're an entire new breed of people that are coming out across the planet, and we would love to hear from you as well. So call us at 252-499-0087. 252-499-0087 is the number to call. I am Captain Chris German. This is Conversations at the Helm. It is a 1-hour weekly call-in show that is broadcast out on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, Chromecast TV, Fire Stick TV, on Facebook, on YouTube. It goes out to millions of people worldwide, and we do hope that you're enjoying what you're seeing, or at least hopefully you're listening to what we're talking about, even if you're not calling in. But you'll make this that much more interesting if you call in, and I do believe I hear the little chime of the ringers going off right now. So, Jennifer, if you will, who are we talking to?
Mark Withers.
Mark Withers is with us tonight. Oh, Mark Withers. He's a relative.
To accept, press 1.
Mark, how you doing tonight?
Press 2.
Oh, did we get him?
Okay. I sent the caller to voicemail. Goodbye.
You sent the caller to voicemail. Mark, call back. Call back, Mark. It was a glitch in technology. Sorry about that. Well, Mark, give us a call back. We want your take on the whole RV thing. You're an RVer yourself. I believe you're planning on spending the summer up in the mountains, and he's a South Californian, and he's planning on wandering out to the mountains, I think, for the summertime with his lovely bride, Miss Martha. So if you can hear it, Mark, give us a call back again, 252-499-0087.
Call from
Mark Withers.
Mark Withers is calling again. Yes,
accept,
isn't that
press 1.
exciting?
To send a
How are you, Mark? You there?
I'm here.
Oh, yes, wonderful. Good to have you.
Okay.
It glitched. I'm not going to blame Jennifer on it. I love having a place to sleep at night, so I'm not going to say it's her fault, but we glitched and we dumped you off. I so apologize for that.
No problem. No problem. So, can I speak freely?
You can speak freely. You can
Yeah,
do
okay.
whatever you want. This isn't cable.
Okay.
We even accept 4-letter words, but people listen more intently if you don't use 4-letter words.
Very good. Well, that wouldn't be my intent, but I tell you what. First time we've watched the show, and I tell you what, it's very interesting so far. It's a good format here, but a couple of notes, and it has to do with RVs, and I can't speak too much about the boating situation in San Diego, but I know that derelicts and craft are taken care of pretty responsibly, I guess. You don't see a lot of them around, but I can, when it comes to trailers and derelict trailers or people living in trailers or that really don't operate or motorhomes that really don't operate that well, I can sort of relate that to people on boats, right, that are derelict. Well, I know what the city here is doing now. They're experimenting with taking a piece of land not necessarily in an unincorporated area, but it's close to town, and putting in a big, huge parking lot with some basic services that people who either are living on the street in their motorhome or living in a car on the street or something along that line, a place to park, safe area overnight. And the last thing that I had heard on the radio was that one of these locations had a place for 300 vehicles.
Really?
So as far as getting some of that stuff off the street, I think that's a really good idea. I have no idea, how you would get a safe storage area for derelict craft, but it sounds as if it takes a real strong city council or whatever the administering authority is for the town, to start pressuring that so the authorities can go after it.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not too knowledgeable about that. But that's I just wanted to bring that up.
Well, we're totally going to trace that down because I think that is a brilliant idea, especially for. We were out in where we were in Asheville, Asheville a couple months ago, something like that. And this person was living in their car, and it was pouring out. And so what they had to do is they parked under an overpass, and they took all of their bags of stuff, and they hung it off the side of the car so they had space in the car while they slept, and they had to stay under there. And sure enough, by 6 o'clock in the morning, the car was moved, and I don't know what happened to them, but your heart broke to see this person have to live this way. So if the town stood up and said, hey, there's a place where you could be safe and settle down for the night in your car or your RV or your van or your bus, I think that is absolutely brilliant. So big tip of the hat to San Diego, and we do have to get there down to see you pretty soon, and maybe you'll take me out to see that place.
Yeah, I will, guarantee it. and one other note on that, I guess the first location that they had been operating was or is successful, and that there's discussions up for another one. So, take 300 parking spaces is a pretty good sized chunk of land, and I guess that they do have some basic, some porta potties there, I believe, some rudimentary things to. So, but the key part is it's safe for the owners. Out in the street, they're subject to, people pulling, robbing them or stealing their stuff. So.
Right. Well, that's part of our business model too. Is that once we get this television show up and running and we get this network being profitable, we want to start a series of facilities for boats and for RVs. And my answer for the boating side of things, since you bring it up, is moorings. And basically, we have a fleet of moorings out there that is administered to by a launch, and we have a clubhouse on the side of the area there. And so you can come in, you can spend a night, or you could spend a bit of time there. I don't know. On our facilities, they could stay there all season long for one low price, which is a membership fee. You can spend all your time there, and we're trying to keep it affordable so that people with less than economic means can get in there. And that's the thing, is I'm not a huge fan of the anchor outs, but people that do have an affordable way to live, it is in a small sailboat and whatnot, let's give them a place to anchor their boat safely where they can get ashore and they can have themselves a hot shower and they can be safe. So I think it's a great thing that San Diego's doing, but I'm getting the high sign from the boss over here, sir, that I have to wind it up for the quarter hour.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Hey, wonderful talking to you. Keep the show going strong. I love it. I love it.
Hey, you're the best. Keep watching and tell your friends, because we need that side of the country paying attention.
You got it. All righty. Take care. All righty. All righty. Bye-bye.
And we're going to take a break now. We'll be back. We've got some very important messages that you have to see. And when you come back, we're going to talk a little bit further about this, but we have a video we're going to show you when we get back, which is a news story about one of these situations that we're talking about. So stay tuned. After the break, we'll see you very shortly.
Hey, Captain Chris here for Charted Life TV. I just want to give you a quick heads up, world, that guess what we did? We sold contractors' entire fleet of boats in one day. Yes, that's what we did at our Boat Shop channel. We didn't expect to have that kind of success, but that's the power of this media here. So if you would like to get your boats listed on our channel, give us a call at 252-617-3792 or send us an email at info@thechartedlife.net. And if you're a boat broker or you're trying to sell your boat or anything, like, you want to get that word out there, this is just a new medium and it seems to be doing phenomenally. So give us a call at 252-617-3792. Email us info@thechartedlife.net. Go to our website www.thechartedlife.net. And as always, tune in to the Charted Life TV. Thanks for watching.
Hey there, Captain Chris German, coming to you for the Charted Life TV and the Charted Life After Dark. The reason why I'm sending this video out to the world is we're trying to create some content for the Charted Life After Dark, and I shared a whole bunch of videos to the page, which I do not necessarily endorse, and I certainly hope we can come up with some better stuff than that. But you got to put some posts up on a new page, and we just launched it anyway. But the point of the Charted Life After Dark is, it's the yin to the yang. The Charted Life is all about picking out, videos and promoting stuff that is about deliberate living and traveling and, the sunny side of life. And the Charted Life After Dark is everything else. So if you have a show you're trying to put together, whether it's fishing or some kind of diving thing, or if it's anything like that, or maybe you play an instrument and you're looking to put your band out there, and you want to spend an hour a week putting your band out there, that'd be fine too. Or maybe you want to do a public access TV show of talking and do a call-in show or something like that. All of these things are the Charted Life After Dark, and it's the answer to everything else. So I do hope that you will consider getting an hour on our television channel, which is the Charted Life After Dark. It's $100 for 1 hour. It plays 1 hour a week for 4 weeks straight, and it's $100 a month. So you can't go wrong with that. It's really affordable, and it's a great way to get your demo tape together if you have aspirations to be a television star. And it's a great way to reach a whole bunch of people if you have a talent that you need to share with the world and have your voice heard. So please, Charted Life After Dark, if you're interested, call us at 252-617-3792 and get your hour on the Charted Life After Dark. Thanks so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see what comes down the pipe on the Charted Life After Dark.
Hey, welcome to Alaska Local Music. I'm here. I'm Lance here with Chris Talon.
How's it going, Lance?
What's going on?
What are you into? And he's like, I'm actually a rapper. And I was like, oh snap, that's dope because...
Yeah, I've seen that whole thing.
It's great to have someone to support you and be behind you.
Oh yeah. Yep, exactly.
The Sunshine State, known for its warm weather and plenty of water-based recreation, has always been a haven for boaters. Last month, Bill number SB 1548, Vessel Safety, was introduced in the Florida Senate that would take away a traditional staple of long-distance cruising in key areas, the ability to anchor out in a public channel. The boat on your screen is exercising his legal right to moor in the channel. With the passage of this bill, he'd be forced into the marina, where heavy dockage fees are typically a problem for long-distance cruisers. How often do you anchor out?
As often as I can. anytime we go cruising to the Bahamas or the Keys, we pretty much anchor out most of the trip.
The bill is aimed at eliminating a number of derelict boaters and anchored boats congesting the public waterways. The vessel safety law would prohibit anchoring out in areas that sit within 200 feet of a public access point or any shoreline-developed waterfront property. This bill would prohibit anchoring and mooring in most of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Marathon, and Lake Worth, which have traditionally been a passageway to the Bahamas and islands south.
I do believe there is a issue. There are certain boaters that they like sliding underneath the radar, and and they get kind of a bad name.
Some cruisers have suggested alternatives to a complete ban, such as imposing stricter time limits on duration of anchorage.
I definitely agree with the time. There's not any reason that you're going to be at anchor for more than 48, 72 hours. It gives you enough time to get groceries and look around the area and visit friends and stuff like that.
The passage of this bill would also force map makers to do a complete overhaul of mapping Florida's waterways.
I guess in cruising guides, they're going to have to put flyers out or newspaper stuff and all that about sending this law out that there's absolutely no anchoring.
Some cruisers and stakeholders wonder if this is a feasible option. The passage of this bill is not expected to occur before July 1st of 2015. This is Jeremy Collard with Multimedia Reporting, signing off.
And Jeremy, thank you for that fine report. I don't know Jeremy, actually. I found that on YouTube, and I think he did a very adequate job of trying to describe it, and I wanted to give him a heads up. I was his first subscriber, so if you find Jeremy Corbin's reporting on this subject to be an interesting report, make sure you go over and give his page a like or a subscribe, because he's an up-and-coming journalist, and we're hoping that he does very big things about this, and we'll even bring him on as a staff reporter if we can get this thing to be big enough eventually. I also heard from Wayne Canning while we were out there. Wayne, how you doing? He's a surveyor down in Florida, a really phenomenal surveyor down in Florida. If you have a boat down there you need to take a look at, give Wayne Canning a call. That's the free plug I give for you, Wayne. And I'm thanking Wayne because he thinks we're having very low volume issues and an echo. If you hear an echo, it's because we're still working out the bugs with all trying to get the sound working and whatnot. Small congregation, small church, all that kinds of stuff, and we're trying to make this thing run, Reverend, let it run. So I will do my best to try and talk normally and talk as close to this microphone, because I think if I can locate the sound into this thing as closely as possible, we tend to have a little bit less of an issue of reverberation. But you'll let me know, I'm sure. In any case, let's get back to the subject at hand. What did you think about that story down in Florida with the boats anchoring? There's a number of issues out there right now with respect to that. One of the people on Facebook said today, oh, is that an issue again? Are they coming up with another law? Well, yeah, they actually are coming up with another law. Hollywood, Florida is now the latest one to ban anchoring out there, and it's happening all over the place, and that's the frustration. And I don't want to make this an economics issue, but it largely is an economics issue. This is an issue of the haves versus the have-nots. The people that own the property do not want boats parked in front of their property, because the boats that are parked in front of their property are a lot of times not the most savory of people. They are unsavory people. I always get that wrong, and my wife yells at me when I do that. But that's the point, is that we don't want to offend anybody on shore. We certainly don't want anybody to have any kind of safety issues on shore with having drugs being made off their dock or something like that. But at the same time, it is not your water. As far as I know, riparian rights end at 8 feet above the high tide line. And if you are below that in the water, that is God's own world there. There was a court case in Connecticut which established an incredibly bad precedent, which nobody talks about. But the town of Fairfield says that they own the ground under which the Penfield Reef Lighthouse sits. And a friend of mine runs a lighthouse not-for-profit, and they were trying to put that lighthouse under their protection and turn it into a bed and breakfast so people could see it. And guess what? When they tried to buy it, the town of Fairfield claimed rights to the ground there and said that they were the only ones that had a right to sell that lighthouse. And it went all the way up to the Connecticut Supreme Court,
and they won. And so now Fairfield owns the ground under the water of Long Island Sound. All the wealthy people that have houses on the water would like that to be their right. And they would like to say, we own everything under the water all the way out to the international date line or something like that. But they don't. Just because you have a lot of money and you own a piece of property that adjoins the waterfront, that does not mean that you own the water. There's a video that I saw out there. This guy's sitting in his fishing boat, and this crazy old woman comes down the dock and starts screaming at the guy because he's fishing on his fishing boat. And it's like, first of all, have bigger problems than this guy fishing out there. He wasn't hurting anything. But the second issue of it is you don't own that water. Now, we have to come up on the bottom of the hour break right now. You're going to give us a call. I know you will. At 252-499-0087 when we come back from the half-hour break. But in the meantime, enjoy these wonderful messages from our supporters and our network, because we need you to support us. I'm Captain Chris German. Thank you for watching Conversations at the Helm, and we'll see you on the other side. Hey there, I'm Captain Chris German, and I'm coming to you for the Charted Life. And we really want you to know about Sarak Photography. She was the photographer for our wedding, and she is a phenomenal artist when it comes to camera work, and she's perfect for your weddings, as you see from these photos that I'm offering right now, or for your high school or graduation photos or family photos or whatever you need. So if you're looking for a great photographer in the Beaufort area, call Sarak Photography, 252-646-9033.
Hey there, I bet you thought this was another episode of Sailing Friday, and it's not, okay? The reason it's not is because we are trying to create some new programming for this channel, which will involve all kinds of good people around the world. Currently, we're in discussions with people up in Ontario, we're down in Florida, and then all the way down in Martinique, we have another program we're working on bringing to you. And then we're also bringing you this tiny home, which is going to be broadcast right here in little old Beaufort, North Carolina, and I think it will be me and hopefully a couple other people, and it's going to be fun. But we're going to interview some talent tomorrow, and we're still trying to bring all that together. So that's what's coming on board for the Charted Life TV, and we do want you to stay tuned and catch all these cool programs as we bring them out. We're looking for sponsors, we're looking for talent, we're looking for camera assistants, we're looking for all kinds of good stuff, and of course we're looking for advertisers. So we're bringing the Charted Life TV to you so that you can enjoy the mobile lifestyle wherever you may be. So for the Charted Life, I am Captain Chris German, coming to you from the studios of the Charted Life Television Network, and I thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned to the Charted Life TV. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Yuri, and I am coming from Siberia. In Siberia, we barely have gasoline, and we don't have very good roads. And so that is why I'm so happy to know about Bayside Jeeps in Morehead City. They have amazing jeeps that go over big rocks and down ravines and go through streams, and they are amazing jeeps. You need a jeep from Bayside Jeeps in Morehead City. You will call them at 252-247-6655. They are located at 4619 Arundel Street in Morehead City, North Carolina, 28557. This is what you need to do. If you have big things to drive over, you need yourself a Jeep. Jeeps are the way to go, and he will fix your Jeep if it's really, really old or even if it's kind of new. He is really good with the Jeeps, and you want to have a Jeep from Bayside Jeeps. So call them at 252-247-6655. I am Yuri for the Charted Life, and you too can have my voice on your ad. Thank you very much.
Hey there, Captain Chris German coming to you for the Charted Life TV and the Charted Life After Dark. The reason why I'm sending this video out to the world is we're trying to create some content for the Charted Life After Dark, and I shared a whole bunch of videos to the page, which I do not necessarily endorse, and I certainly hope we can come up with some better stuff than that. But, you know, you got to put some posts up on a new page, and we just launched it anyway. But the point of the Charted Life After Dark is, you know, it's the yin to the yang. The Charted Life is all about picking out, you know, videos and promoting stuff that is about deliberate living and traveling and, you know, the sunny side of life. And the Charted Life After Dark is everything else. So if you have a show you're trying to put together, or whether it's fishing or some kind of diving thing, or if it's you know, anything like that, or maybe you play an instrument and you're looking to, you know, put your band out there, and you want to spend an hour a week putting your band out there, that'd be fine too. Or maybe you want to do a public access TV show of talking and do a call-in show or something like that. All of these things are the Charted Life After Dark, and it's the answer to everything else. So I do hope that you will consider getting an hour on our television channel, which is the Charted Life After Dark. It's $100 for 1 hour. It plays 1 hour a week for 4 weeks straight, and it's $100 a month. So you can't go wrong with that. It's really affordable, and it's a great way to get your demo tape together if you have aspirations to be a television star. And it's a great way to reach a whole bunch of people if you have a talent that you need to share with the world and have your voice heard. So please, Charted Life After Dark, if you're interested, call us at 252-617-3792 and get your hour on the Charted Life After Dark. Thanks so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see what comes down the pipe on the Charted Life After Dark.
Meeting has become very emotional. Take a look. It's still going on, and it will go on until about 12:30. The time has been extended, and that emotion is coming out in the form of yelling at the council and even at young children. Tonight's Berkeley City Council meeting immediately pit RV owners against council members. 21. Item 21 is a proposed RV ban from parking overnight.
Here's my RV. It's 23 feet.
Most have lived on 8th and Harrison for nearly a year. They feel pushed out, frustrated, and harassed.
I got to live out here. I just don't know what I'm going to do.
Jessica Prado graduated from Cal last year.
I'm trying to pay back all my credit cards, all my student loans, and that's why I live in an RV, just to pay back my debt to society.
But not everyone calls the RV residents good neighbors.
We have human feces in our dumpster. We have our students, we've been threatened. Our students don't feel safe going out to their cars at night.
Oakland City Council President tweeted today calling for county-wide collaboration. Berkeley City Council members insist there is collaboration. Regular talks and ideas are exchanged, and the ban would show compassion.
It would require basic notice of the ordinance, an opportunity to move or to sort of cure the issue with before enforcement.
Once the meeting began, all sides spoke their truth.
I just want to have a place to sleep at night.
Letting people park whenever they want, wherever they want, is not the solution.
And on Tuesday of next week, 2 council members plan to unveil a more comprehensive program for RV owners, which would include permitting and a registration system.
And we're back. Thank you for, what do you think about that one, huh? We don't have the problem of people living in their RVs on the streets here in Beaufort. I didn't even remember that happening up in Connecticut either, so I'm thinking this might be a warm weather issue, because it's a little too cold here in the winter, it's a little too hot in the summer. I'm thinking the temperateness of places like California and Florida might make that a bit more regular, and I'm with them on that. I don't, my wife and I were talking at the break, and it's like, who wants to see all of these RVs just lined up, and the human filth, and it's a squalid way to live. It's not safe, and I think Mark had called it last half hour. He was spot on. They should have a place to park where they're safe and there's proper sanitation, and it doesn't cost a ton of a lot to put a bathhouse in and to provide them with the modest amounts of security
that these people need to be able to park safely at night, and that's what we aim to do with the Charted Life. Is we aim to create a series of these privately owned parking facilities for the RVers. We will not back out. We will not push out anybody that lives in their car. We will not push anybody that lives out in their van. But we are going to ask that you have a membership with us, and that's the way of ensuring that you're part of our group and you're part of our protected few. But also that you're not doing anything illegal. So we all have to monitor this. We have to work together as a community, and we need to protect those people that are mobile lifestylers. And we're hoping that not everybody is indigent and can't afford a home, but the purpose of this is that the people choose to live this way. And if you choose to make your house a mobile home site to support of life, like a boat or an RV or a van or a school bus or a tiny home, we support you 110%. So, tell me, am I wrong on this one? Give us a call, 252-499-0087, 252-499-0087, and I hear the tones of the call. Who do we have here?
Answer the phone, Scooter.
Answer the phone, Scooter. I think I know who this is. Hello, Matt. Are you there? You there?
Huh?
Are you there?
There's a definite delay between me watching your ugly face on this here TV and what I hear very softly through the microphone on the other end.
Aha. I'm soft on you?
Yeah, you're I can't hear you. Especially we've been burning things and drinking, and you're kind of hard to hear.
What can you say to that, folks? He's been burning things and welding, and he can't hear me. So drinking and welding.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, what else are you gonna do when you're welding? You gotta. I mean, that. Whew, I tell you what, galvanized metal tastes bad.
Well, I'm with you on that 110%.
Oh God, it tastes just like cancer.
Wow. So,
shit, my grass is on fire. Hold on.
You caught up with us.
Hold on, I'm putting the phone down.
You on air live now. When I say you can heckle me, you're supposed to say something pithy and annoying and insult me.
I'm back. Sorry, I caught the grass on fire.
I caught the grass on fire. Hey, it's all types of folks that pay attention to this lifestyle, and Captain Matt is he's from New Bern, North Carolina. He's a former student of mine, and I take no responsibility for any of his actions whatsoever, and I've never met him before in my life. Especially
But you taught me everything I know.
Don't you blame me for that. You're setting the ground on fire completely on your own accord. You learned that in West Virginia.
Well, it's sometimes some people have to mow the grass, and other people just use a little too much excessive fire and burn the shit away. And that's where we are right now today.
I set my lawn on fire a couple weeks ago, where I was trying to kill fire ants with gasoline, and so I too have set my lawn on fire, but I did not have inebriation involved with it.
Well, that's where you went wrong.
Yeah, it would have been a lot more fun.
I expect you to remedy that shit and get it right next time. If you're drunk, you can burn more ants.
Aye, Captain. Aye.
Moderation is for the weak.
What do you think about people that choose to live in their boats or live in their RVs? Can you hear me? We lost the sound again.
Did you lose the sound? No, I can see. So now, just for a side note there, the phone speakers, the other caller and myself, I can hear fairly clearly. However, your microphone seems to be a little low. Turn up the volume, Scooter. No, everybody has a different opinion.
We'll talk. I got
some of the limits. Are you fixing it now, or am I talking now?
You're talking now. You keep talking, and we'll fix the microphone.
All right, you fix the microphone. So everybody has their own opinion, but so take Beaufort, for example, where they pulled everybody's boats out and smashed them because they're assholes, and now there's a 10-day limit, and that's great because at least you can go and anchor for 10 days. But what if somebody wants to come in and maybe see if they want to live in that area? 10 days might not be enough. I don't know where anybody in a transient boater setting is, going to scoff at a month. Your derelict vessel is going to take longer than that.
I do think that's a valid point.
Yeah, where are there? And I've been looking into it, especially in Florida, for where when we get ready to go, hop down through the ICW and see everything, and go over and cross over to the Bahamas and the catamaran. I don't want to get kicked out in 24 hours. Hell, I might not even be sober enough to leave in that time.
Always a man.
Well, why?
But I think you're absolutely right. I mean, because the truth of the matter is, you need some time to get stuff done. You want to do a load of laundry. You want to go to the restaurants. You want to make a phone call home. You got to go spend an afternoon catching up with work on shore. You need to spend more than 24 hours there. In Beaufort, we have the 10-day rule. Is 10 days enough? Is it not enough? I'm not quite sure. But at the same time, I mean, is this a great use of our property, or of our dollars, our taxes, having the police putting a timestamp on somebody's boat and chalking boats to see how long they've been there? On the other side, if it is, I don't want something that's going to be there for 3 or 4 months and turn into a meth head den. That's the balance here.
Right. And so, I mean, I'm with you on the 3, 4, 6 month option. 10 days, you can wait for weather. I mean, Beaufort's one of the best kickoff points to get to Bermuda. You can wait 10 days. You can wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month to find the right weather window to do it, assuming you got a shitty boat like I do. I'm not going over there, not unless it's perfect condition.
Well, I wouldn't recommend you go to Bermuda in any boat with that boat. That's like 1,000 miles in open water. But to go to Ocracoke,
it's been done, but people are stupid. It's hard to fix it.
Well, and that's the whole point is we're not trying to kill people here. We're trying to protect people. And that's a whole other show that I want to talk about is the management of proper harbors here in the United States. They just closed down another harbor down in not Wrightsfield Beach. Where was it? Down the coast. Remember where that was?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't remember. You're drinking.
No. I remember. No, I don't remember the name of it. Yeah. Look it up.
Well, down at Cape, they just did it at Cape Lookout last year, and they're doing it in another place down down the coast near Wrightsville Beach. And, it's like the Coast Guard is like, well, we're just not going to spend our dollars on ports of call anymore that don't make, enough money for us. So that limits the number of places that you can put in as you're coming up the eastern seaboard to have a, safe harbor if you can't get in safely and not run aground. So, I mean, and I ran into that when I was down in Florida on my boat. It was a boat I was delivering up here, and we were trying to get into a decent port. We could not get in at anything, at any of the ports between St. Lucie, I guess it was, and Cape Canaveral, because there were all these bridges that wouldn't allow our boat to go in. So we had to go to the next port of call to make it to where we needed to be. And in that time, a line of storms came, and we got our ass handed to us by a line of storms that was coming through. So it's like, they're just
because you needed a radar for the weather.
Things. What's that?
That's because your goofy ass needed a weather radar.
Well, the boat didn't have it, and I've learned. I've definitely improved over the time. So yes, don't bring that up, okay?
Yeah, well, far be it from me to let you off without a little bit of heckling.
Well, I do hope that you have gotten your chops out on me and you have satisfied your whims of insulting me on air before the millions of viewers that we have. But I have to take a break. So, man, I do thank you for your call.
Indeed.
And I will certainly get you back in some way, shape, or form. I just don't know when.
I'm terrified, but waiting.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a good night.
Enjoy it.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, so that's Conversations at the Helm. We've flittered away 3/4 of an hour. We're at the last 15 minutes of the hour coming up after this break. We do appreciate all of the feedback that we've gotten on the sound. We are working on that. I will talk louder, and I will try to go out to you. But thank you for those of you that have been watching. Stay tuned. We're coming back, and we got one more 15-minute section, and then it's done for this week, so we can fix it, and we'll see you again next week. So stay tuned for the last 15 minutes, because it's the last you're going to see me for 7 days. Stay tuned. Conversations at the Helm.
Sausalito's picturesque waterfront is popular with locals and tourists, as you can see there, but there are some who think it's getting a bit too cluttered. KPIX5's John Ramos explains why.
You don't see a lot of homeless people on the streets of Sausalito, but that doesn't mean they're not here. In fact, they're living in plain sight. Richardson Bay along Sausalito's waterfront is crowded with boats, but they're not all pleasure craft. For many, this is home. Do you even consider yourself to be homeless?
No, but I suppose technically I am, but I don't know. Home is my boat. I got my boat.
Clark Mason is what's known here as an anchor out. People who simply drop anchor in the bay and stay for free. He says he's lived out on the water for 34 years now, rowing a dinghy a quarter mile anytime he wants to come to shore. It's not an easy life, but lately he's had a lot of company out there.
Between 2010 and 2015, the number of boats in Richardson Bay increased from 100 to 250.
The town's mayor says the boats are a health and safety hazard, with falling apart or just being stored out there by people who don't want to pay for a slip. So the city has begun the process of removing them. First the derelict craft and the empty boats, but at some point the people will also have to go.
They are not experienced mariners qualified to grapple with our challenging weather and waters.
Years ago, the city imposed a 72-hour limit on anchor outs, but that's in dispute since the bay is officially designated as a federal special anchorage area. The city's lawyers say they have the authority, but Clark believes residents overlooking the bay just want to get rid of the homeless, and the city's case doesn't hold water.
Until there's paperwork that transfers that federal anchorage to the city Sausalito or the county of Marin, it's a federal anchorage and I use it accordingly.
The mayor says if the homeless are forced off the water, there are places in Marin for them to go, but probably not here in Sausalito. In Sausalito, John Ramos, KPIX 5.
Hey, welcome to Alaska Local Music. I'm here. I'm Lance here with Chris Talley.
How's it going, Lance?
You know, what's going on?
What are you into? And he's like, I'm actually a rapper. And I was like, oh snap, that's dope because...
Yeah, I've seen that whole thing.
You know, it's great to have someone to support you and be behind you.
Oh yeah. Yep, exactly.
Hey, Captain Chris here for the Charted Life TV. I just want to give you a quick heads up, world, that guess what we did? We sold contractors' entire fleet of boats in one day. Yes, that's what we did at our Boat Shop channel. We didn't expect to have that kind of success, but that's the power of this media here. So if you would like to get your boats listed on our channel, give us a call at 252-617-3792 or send us an email at info@thechartedlife.net. And if you're a boat broker or you're trying to sell your boat or anything, like, you know, you want to get that word out there, this is just a new medium and it seems to be doing phenomenally. So give us a call at 252-617-3792. Email us info@thechartedlife.net. Go to our website www.thechartedlife.net, and as always, tune in to the Charted Life TV. Thanks for watching.
And we're back. Thank you for tuning in to the Conversations at the Helm, the second episode of the second season. We've had a couple of people that have been doggedly hanging on with us through Facebook, despite the sound issues and the picture issues and all the other things. To those of you that are watching us on Facebook and YouTube, please comment. Please let us know that you're there so we can properly thank you on air for watching. because you guys are the reason we're doing this. We are absolutely trying to get all these mediums working together. This is the cable cutting generation. These are the reasons we're trying to get rid of cable TV and do this in a new and fashionable way. The golden age of television is here again, and we're going to have all kinds of cool new broadcasting and programs coming out on this channel, not least of which the Great Loop, which we're going to be filming a Captain Scott from Canada, hopefully will be our lead on that one, and he's been watching tonight. Captain Scott is going to be the star of the Great Loop, and we're going to teach him to sail. He's going to get himself a sailboat and sail the Great Loop of the United States. And then we're also going to be kicking off this tiny home very shortly. The guy that just called in the last hour, Captain Matt, he is actually going to be our contractor, and we're going to buy ourselves a 40-foot storage container and strap it to an axle and a couple of axles and turn it into a trailer, and we're going to tow a 40-foot, which is going to be cut down to a 30-foot storage container, and it's going to be our travel trailer in our tiny home, and we're going to use it as our mobile television studio as we wander around the world. Also, coming up in the next couple weeks, we're going to be at the Annapolis Boat Show. Naptown, pull your daughters off the street. The Charted Life is coming. And we are going to be doing, we're going to be broadcasting the whole weekend live. We're going to start a live broadcast at the open of the show, and we're not going to close it down until 5 o'clock on Sunday or whenever we run out of battery power, whichever happens first. But we are going to be going live from the Annapolis Boat Show, and we're going to be covering all the cool stuff that happens at the Spring Boat Show in Annapolis. So we do hope that you'll tune in for that as well. So that's all the to-dos that have gotten to did. And now we need to talk about the issues. You just saw that video as we were in Sausalito. The folks out there that are living in their boats, the homeless, I do not envy them. I certainly, if it wasn't for the largesse of my amazing wife, I would be one of those people, and I'd be the homeless guy in a sailboat wandering out there. We had a couple of those local here. And it's not always just an issue of they don't have homes. Sometimes, obviously, it's an issue of substance abuse. It's also an issue of mental health. And so there's a holistic approach that needs to be made to these people that are anchor outs. And we're not talking about anchor outs in the mobile lifestyle. We're also not talking about the indigent that are living in their cars. We're talking about people that specifically choose this lifestyle, living deliberately. Emerson was the one that, was it Thoreau? One of those transcendentalists talked about live life deliberately. Choose the direction that you're going to take. Choose to live the charted life or the mobile lifestyle. That's the name of the game. And we've just got a couple minutes before the end of the show. So if you'd like to call in and comment, it's 252-499-0087. 252-499-0087 is the number to call. Give us a call. Tell us your take on, should we be really pushing so hard on these homeless people that are out there living as anchor outs? Did I lose my sound again? Okay. We really should be taking care of everybody. That's what we're supposed to do. It's Good Friday tomorrow. Notre Dame has survived the flames, and they believe they saw Jesus walking through the flames in Notre Dame, and that cross will forever be indelibly etched into people's minds. I'm not hearing myself, Jennifer. Okay, well, I'll keep going. Well, in any case, this is The Charted Life, and we have managed to make it through another hour, and here we go. It's 8:57, and so I tell you what, if you want to call us next week at 252-499-0087, give us a call, and if you'd like to message us, you can get us on Facebook, you can get us on Twitter, you can get us wherever you can find The Charted Life through our website, www.thechartedlife.net. If you have a subject that you think we should be talking about on the show, I want you to give me a call, or actually better still, send me a message through any of those means, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. We're on all of it. We want to hear your messages, so please reach out to us and give us a holler. So, for The Charted Life, I am Captain Christopher German. Thank you, Matt, for calling in today. Thank you, Uncle Mark, for calling in today. Thank you, Wayne, for commenting on Facebook. Thank you, Scott, for giving us a like. Thank you, the entire world for that you've tuned into this, and everybody that's going to watch this when we rebroadcast it on Sunday night at 8 p.m. We're going to rebroadcast the whole thing. Hope you're enjoying this, and if you would like to advertise on this show or any of the shows we're talking about,
We are looking for people to help support this station and make sure that this thing is around for generations to come, and the mobile lifestyle will do its thing forever. Thank you so much for watching. This is Conversations at the Helm, second season, second edition. I'm Captain Chris, and thank you to my beautiful wife, Jennifer. You are the love of my life. You are absolutely the most important thing for me, and I can't appreciate you enough by not thanking you for doing everything that you do. Thanks for watching. Have a beautiful weekend. Happy Easter, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Back at 9 off to bed and then get up and start it all over again. Let's take a boat to Bermuda. Let's take a plane to St. Paul. Let's take a kayak to Quincy and Nyack, and let's get away from it all. Let's take a trip and a trailer. No need to come back at all. Let's take a powder for Boston or Chowder, and let's get away from it all.